If you're in your 50s, this is what we did when we were in our 50s, preparing for retirement. So we just really wanted to clear up about how we arrived financially at the position where we are right now. But before we do that,
If you are new to our channel, we are Tina and Norm, and we talk all things retirement, financial, travel, and whatever is going on in the news at the moment.
and you're most welcome to join us. We appreciate you viewing our videos.
Yes.
So, I retired from my career at around 55. I'd had enough of that, but what I had been doing, unbeknownst to me, that would carry us in early retirement, was I was very interested in photography. 18?
Absolutely. In fact, that's where we met, eh, Norm?
It was at the good old Bramhall Camera Club. So I'd always taken photographs, and so I got into doing stock photography, which was a growing industry with this microstock movement back in 2004, 2005. So after about 5 or 6 years, I'd built a pretty good income, and I was able to just give up my main career. And we ran stock photography like a business. So we had write-downs. So when we traveled and went to foreign countries, we would be taking pictures, wouldn't we, Teen?
Yeah.
All the time.
Yes, we did.
So we wrote a portion of those trips off because we were exclusively photographing for stock photography and building a portfolio. So we built that residual income base from royalties.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how we were able to retire. And finally, when Tina got to 60, we persuaded you to fully retire.
Yes.
And so our income at that point was able to pay all of our expenses until we were able to collect CPP, which we opted to do early.
Yes, we did, didn't we? Mm. But we had also, at the same time, been changing the way, while this was going on, we were changing how we were doing our investing, weren't we, Norm?
Very much so.
Originally, we had been putting a lot of our money into RRSPs, and we decided that that possibly wasn't the best strategy. So we stopped doing that.
That's right.
Didn't we?
So we didn't have company pensions. No. Tina worked for a company, but they didn't provide pensions. I was self-employed. At the same time that I was starting to do the stock photography, I realized one of the number one strategies for being retired was to be debt-free.
That was one of the biggest things we wanted to do, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we were looking at our investments over the years in mutual funds, and they had disappointing returns. So when we were 50, thereabouts, we decided no more mutual funds, no more paying to RRSPs, because we anticipated being low income in retirement because we didn't have company pensions. All that we would have is income from the RRSPs that we'd already saved. Yeah. And the state pensions. Yeah. We never achieved those big salaries to get the benefits from the tax relief. So we were investing in our home. Yeah. We decided, let's pay off our home as quickly as we can.
And that became the new plan, didn't it? So all the money that was going before into RRSPs suddenly went into paying off the mortgage as quick as we can. And we actually did that, didn't we? In a very small period of time, we managed to be mortgage free. And that was a great feeling because it had always been part of our plan that we were going to sell the house to help fund our retirement.
And that decision, Tina, was based on the fact that we didn't have company pensions. Yeah. And we bought into this myth of needing $1 million in retirement, which is absolutely ludicrous. So, when Tina hit 60, we decided we would move to a cheaper town and be near our son who lives here and his family, and rent. So yeah, we're throwing our money away on rent, but we are in rent control, and it's very affordable for us because we get minimal rent increases each year.
And the other thing which is awesome too is that ours actually includes all our utilities. So we don't have to worry when the cost of hydro or anything goes up because it's already taken care of.
So when we
Yeah.
decided to take CPP at the earliest opportunity, we could see that if we left it and took it later, you're running the risk. We needed the money to live on. We didn't have those company pensions.
Yeah.
So we saw the break-even period being quite a way in the future, and we didn't think that we could count on having that longevity in our life. After all, we're the baby boom generation, and we've been experimented on by all these food companies and plastics companies
And
for decades.
who knows what with everything we've been eating, right?
That's right. So, coupled to this whole thing about selling the house, being debt free, the other building block was living frugally and being content.
Yeah.
And so that was our major idea. So, living frugally, being below pension age, we managed, unbeknownst to us, it was a big surprise.
Yeah.
But we were living on the royalty income from our stock photography and stock video portfolios. I got the CPP at the earliest point, so then that added to it, which made life even more comfortable.
Yeah, but of course, remember, I was 2 years behind you, so
That's right.
yeah.
So at that point, we could live reasonably well.
Yeah.
The thing about selling the house is that we invested half of it in the stock market, and we kept half of it in cash instruments, high interest savings accounts and various investments like that that were easily to be cashable. So basically, we have never lived on our house proceeds that we got when we sold it, have we?
No. So in actual fact, all the dividends are being reinvested in there. So whatever the money is generating is staying there. The only provisions that we did have was one of the things we wanted to do when we retired was we wanted to travel. But we decided we would have to allow for that, didn't we? Because we weren't going to have this extra money coming in each month. So we did give ourselves a budget, didn't we, to travel?
We did. And so we have spent some of the house money in the first few years of our retirement. And we set a budget of 25,000 a year. And that primarily was taking cruises and spending a month or two in Portugal in the wintertime as well. But the dividends keep coming. So
and they keep topping it up.
For everybody who was criticizing us that we sold a house and then the properties took off in value
and that we lost
lost out.
No,
we've been getting the safe income from dividends and reinvesting it. So our kitty just keeps growing and we're not using it to live on. Then COVID came along and we haven't invested in that.
No.
So our advice to anybody in their 50s, or indeed if you're retired, is passive income is incredibly powerful. And the opportunities for passive income are all around you. I did it with photography and video because I had a lifetime of doing that. There are a myriad other opportunities for doing this gig economy. And once you create something like that, you can have a small sole trader business and you can make some write-downs based on your expenses, which lowers your income once again.
And it becomes like a package, doesn't it? That
it really does.
You just almost need to sort of set yourself a budget, find out what you need, find the ways that it can be funded for you. And we have never looked back, have we?
No, not at all.
It was the best decision we've ever done.
And our investment
Hmm.
strategy has been buy and hold.
Yeah,
We had a couple of dud stocks, so we sold those.
yeah.
But the vast majority of our holdings are what we bought all those years ago,
Hmm.
and they've been producing consistently. And when we get that dead money we talked about in one of our videos,
Oh, yeah.
the dividends that aren't being reinvested in our brokerage account, we buy more stocks of the quality ones we already own.
And I think one thing too, Norm, that you'd mentioned was it wasn't available to us when we were in our early 50s. But if you are around that age, then fund your TFSAs. It wasn't there when we could have done it. We have done it and done it every year since. But if you are a lot younger than us, take
Yeah.
advantage of that. It's a huge tax break.
It's a great
Yeah.
strategy, Tina, because the TFSAs came
Yes.
along later in life
Yeah.
for us. But we knew we would be low income retirees because we didn't have these company pension schemes. So the TFSA would be perfect
Hmm.
for that because we didn't need the tax write downs from our RSPs, but all the money is sheltered. And we've been investing since day one in those, maximizing
Yeah.
every year. We do have dividend
Yeah.
income stocks in there. And if we ever drew anything out, which we haven't so far,
Yeah.
it doesn't increase your income for tax purposes because it's tax free. So if you're a mid to low income employee right now and are funding RSPs, maybe talk to your financial advisor and see if there's an argument that you should be funding TFSA instead, because you're not going to get the advantage of being a huge income earner, getting the tax write downs in RRSPs, and then being a low income retiree. If that's not you, then the TFSA makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
So we haven't spent our house money in retirement on
No.
income.
No.
We haven't spent hardly any money in the last 3 years on travel for various reasons.
Yeah. But we have enjoyed going to the trailer, haven't we?
Yeah, and
And
we
yeah,
did spend our money on
yeah.
that.
And as you can see, we are not there at the moment. So we are
No,
having a brief break back home just to do a few things.
yeah, and we thought we would
Yeah.
just like to have this chat with you because a lot of people don't know the story about why or how we retired and how we fund it. And we just wanted to give a few
Hmm.
pointers, especially if you're in your 50s and you're looking at retirement. Just number one thing, get rid of debt.
Yeah.
Work
Oh,
as hard as you can.
yeah,
It's the
absolutely.
only way to go. Be debt free in retirement. And if you can live frugally,
Yeah.
then do that. We're not bothered about a big expensive car. We got
No.
an ex-rental car.
Yeah.
We've had it 4 years this Christmas, and it's got 80,000 kilometers on it. We just put gas in it and change the oil.
Hmm. And of
It's perfect.
course, that was another thing too, Norm. Hey, when we moved in here, was we had two cars, so we had two of everything we were paying for.
Yeah,
And
big
after,
gas
yeah.
guzzler that I had.
So after a while, we decided, okay, one of those has to go, and that was a really smart decision because when you are retired, a lot of the times you go places together, or one can take the car and the other can stay home, or vice versa. And really, it's really a bit of a waste having two cars and
We
all the
we felt so,
yeah.
and once again, it's not just getting rid of the car; it's getting rid
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
maintenance, the tires, taxes,
Insurance,
insurance,
yeah, everything, isn't it?
and so that's why we live frugally, and we're not zooming off in opposite directions. We make sure that if we have appointments,
Yeah,
then one of us will
one's
take the car,
yeah,
one stays at home, or one comes with us
yeah,
to the appointment. It's it's a mindset. You're not denying yourself a car, or you're not
no,
denying yourself a millionaire lifestyle. Just live how you would want to live and cultivate that frugal mindset. So, have we explained what we did with our house money? And
I think we have, and I think we also just want to say that if you want to retire, you can. You just have to make a plan for you so it fits for you like we did for us.
we used the
Yeah,
CPP option of
yeah.
getting that early just to top us up from
Mm-hmm.
our passive income that we had
Yeah,
already developed. And maybe look at passive income.
yeah,
It's not easy to generate. We've gone from stock photography, stock video, and now YouTube.
yeah.
And we have a little business that we are able to save some of our hard-earned money by having tax write-downs. So why don't you do something like this as well? So if you haven't already subscribed to us and you enjoy content like this, please do so, because it so encourages Tina and myself to know that we're on the right lines and we're not just two old fools blathering away.
And we don't want you to miss out of any new videos that we're going to do. So, as Norm says, we would just love you to subscribe to our channel. It helps us a lot.
So we hope that everybody is keeping well.
And staying safe.
And until the next time,
Bye bye.
bye bye.